Hey guys, TheSmileBC here, back with another video on the Lord of the Rings mod, and today I will be explaining the alignment system of the mod, one of the most prominent and important mechanics you will come across whilst exploring Middle-earth. As soon as you spawn in, either through the World Select or the Golden Ring portal from the Overworld, the alignment bar will appear on the top center of your screen. A few tips as basic tutorial are presented to you as well, so I won't be going over those, but I do highly recommend any new players having a good look at them. You start off with an alignment for all factions of 0, meaning you are unaligned with them. You can get alignment either by killing enemies of that faction or by completing quests. Especially in the early game, it is highly recommended you do non-violent quests, since mobs in Middle-earth are stronger than the average overworld zombie or skeleton. Quests will generate randomly if a player is near a certain mob long enough. You will know when they have a quest ready for you when an exclamation mark appears over their heads. Next time you talk with those mobs, their quest will pop up and it's up to you whether you want to accept it or not. An easy way to keep track of all your quests is with the red book, which you get from a chest at your Middle-earth spawn. If you miss the chest, it is always near the coordinate 00, your spawn. Be cautious though, you only have 5 running quests of one specific faction at a time. Dismiss any you won't be able to do for a long time if there is a different quest you can easily complete. If the time has come where you feel ready to face enemies of the faction, there are 2 important factors that you should keep in mind. The first one is that it's highly recommended that you have quests ready for killing those specific enemies, so the reward is even higher for throwing yourself into combat. And the second one is that you should always kill within the area of influence of that faction. The area of influence is a predetermined area in which the faction will care if you slay their foes. No hobbits will care or know of you killing an orc in Mordor, but it will more likely notice your actions if that orc is wandering in the Shire. You can find the specific areas of influence by pressing L, or the key you allocated to your Middle-earth menu. Head over to the Factions tab and hit the red dot button on the top right of the faction map. It will open up your main map again with a red circle showing the area of influence of that faction. You can check on all the factions your faction considers friends or foe by clicking on the page fault on the bottom right of the menu. The only other way of gaining alignment by killing enemies outside of this area of influence is by having NPCs or hired units of the faction nearby. They will form their own small area of influence. It is indicated whether or not you are within one of these areas of influence by either 2 arrows pointing at the alignment bar, or if you are within a unit's area of influence, 2 small dots next to the alignment bar. But if you kill for quests, you don't have to be in these areas. Some factions, such as the Woodland Realm, don't trust strangers or low-aligned people, and may attack you if you approach without a minimum number of alignment. The Wood Elves might attack you as long as you have under 50 alignment, so it would be wise to kill the enemies inside the sphere of influence before you go to quest with them. Keep that in mind and don't kill those who attack you. Getting negative alignment will make all mobs hostile to you of that faction. Now there are many important features that alignment unlocks for you. First of all, you will be able to craft on that faction's crafting table, gaining access to armors, tools, weapons and blocks which are unique to that faction. After that, some traders demand a minimum of alignment before they are willing to show you their wares. You can later hire units, which you can only hire with a certain number of alignment. And for multiplayer, titles and shields are the most prominent benefit for alignment, I think, to show off your dedication to a certain faction. Be sure to keep an eye out in which areas of influence you are and you aren't. You might be able to get away with murder if none of the factions will hear of your deeds. But there are also hot zones in which many of the areas overlap, which prove great hunting grounds to gain alignment fast with several factions. That's the last tip I want to give you for this video. I hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you next time with another Lord of the Rings mod feature. Peace.